belief, Nehru agreed to the Menon Plan. Mountbatten was ecstatic.
It's quite crazy that, speaking of the fortune of over 400 million people, and literally could mean life and death for hundreds of thousands of these people, that it's effectively decided in a plush room in the hills of India in Shimla by three men.
Mountbatten, being Mountbatten, immediately took credit for it. And that is the plan that has come down to be known as the Mountbatten Plan. In point of fact, Mountbatten had nothing whatsoever to do with it at all. It was VP Menon. It was his plan. In Mountbatten's last honours list, he offered my grandfather the highest level of knighthood then available within the Indian order. And my grandfather very politely declined it. But as he later on told his daughter-in-law, my mother, how could I accept a knighthood for being the man who devised the partition of my country?
Momentous days as the Viceroy holds vital talks with the leaders to discuss the transfer of power to Indian hands. As the thermometer blazes up to 112 degrees outside, Pandit Nehru and other delegates have a short word with Viscount Mountbatten before the talks begin.
As all the Indian leaders gather at Viceroy's house to be presented with the new plan for independence, Jinnah is unaware that Nehru has already seen and approved it.
So on the 2nd of June, Mountbatten asked all the Indian leaders to come and meet with him, and he showed them the plan for the first time, and he actually gave them a deadline of midnight to come back to him with any problems about it. He thought it was very crucial to give them as little time as possible, potentially, to object to the plan. Well, Jinnah looked at this plan and decided that, in fact, there were some problems with it.
The reason that he wasn't happy with the plan that Mountbatten proposed to him was that Pakistan will consist of two wings, and in the middle you have 1,500 kilometers of India, and both of Bengal and Punjab are going to be split up. And Jinnah has always been very outspoken that the last thing that he wants is a partitioning of these two regions.
Obviously, both Nehru and Mountbatten would have preferred India to stay united, but there may have been, in the back of their minds, certainly in the back of Nehru's mind, might have been the idea that, well, if this Pakistan really is so unviable, perhaps in a few years, they will change their mind and they will decide to reunite with India.
So this is Mountbatten's account that he records many years later on the crucial meeting he has on the 2nd of June with Muhammad Ali Jinnah. This was probably the most hair-raising moment of my entire life, waiting to see if that clot was going to nod or shake his head. It shows outright contempt that Mountbatten was feeling towards Jinnah. He was trying to sort of recount how he was the real heroic figure in this grand debate. But there is no doubt that he did bully Jinnah into agreeing to the partition plan.
I think there's a sense that Jinnah is negotiating